Today's video is dedicated to a friend, someone who opened up about a story he probably never shared, or if he did, very seldomly. This video is aimed to give you an understanding what it actually means to speak your truth, to speak up for yourself, to stand there regardless if people accept what you have to say or not. It's here to understand that your feelings are valid, regardless if anyone gets it or not, even if you don't get it. And this is really a main key factor, is about letting it out of your body, right? Letting it come out and speak it. Learn to speak your truth. What is it that really needs to be placed? So that story is about a work environment, and in that work environment he discovered another man that has been very, very influential on many people, very manipulative. He always got what he wanted, and it was important to be in a good light with that person in order not to lose your job or get out of the company in its whole. What he discovered was that he was denying how he felt about the whole situation. He was denying of how this has made him feel. On top of that, he felt a lot of guilt for A, not sharing it, and B, for the happening. See, many people explain this as it's your fault. Why didn't you say no? Why didn't you speak up for yourself? It's really hard if you are influenced by someone that has not the best intentions for you. It's difficult if you know that those intentions are not really good, but you kind of feel helpless to do something about it. You kind of feel you have to go with it, and you are trying to somehow balance it. You're trying to somehow survive. You're trying to be okay with what is showing up. Constantly worried that you may receive another push, receive another violence, receive something that is just not okay for you. And if you want or not, it's actually attacking your nervous system. You may start to get anxious. You may start to really shut down your emotions. You may start to really not feel well in your environment. And on top of that, if you're a man, it's not really seen that, you cannot say anything. People believe just because you're a man, this means that you don't receive any of those mobbing situations, or people are not actually going or being mean to you or whatever. And you could have said something like this, right? It doesn't matter if you're a woman or a man. What really matters is the acceptance, and the acceptance doesn't mean you need to accept what has happened. It means, though, you see the reality as you felt it. You see the reality as something that has been in your life, and you're not pushing it away. See, acceptance just means that you are allowing it, to experiencing it, to know that everything is temporary. Nothing you can really hold on to. No day is like the other day. You can't hold on to something. But if you want to release that pain for your body, from your body, you have to actually learn how to release that through your body, and how to really accept it at the first place, you see. So he was opening up and sharing about the pain this has caused him, and mm, the regret of not speaking up and not sharing his truth, and not sharing actually that something was wrong. And I told him, listen, and I'm telling you the same, it's not your fault. It's not your fault that you haven't spoken up. It's not your fault that you haven't spoken your truth. Now, if you really want to heal this kind of part, you have to go through a huge understanding and bringing it into the heart, because you see, those experiences are never just going to leave you just because 10 years are in between, or 15 years are in between, or 20 years. You see, it's not just going to leave you. You need to be able to move through those kind of emotions, and you need to feel it. You need to let it in order to let it go. Does that make sense? You have to experience it. You have to speak your truth. And that's actually what I feel more and more and more, is that people start to understand the importance to speak their truth, to speak up how they feel. Doesn't mean that you have to all the time like tell the people right in their face about how you feel, and like all these emotions like, ugh. No, no, you guys, no. That's not how it's done. The way how we really stand our ground is by speaking it to ourselves, seeing what is going on for ourselves. And once we have done that, we start to decide, with whom do I want to share that information? The absolute key part here is to go here first. Don't go out there first. Understand here first. Your body needs to understand first what has happened. You need to understand first that something is still nagging on you. Maybe you have difficulties in another area. You see, you can basically take this in however you want it. You can take this information and totally transfer it to a relationship. It doesn't have to be at work. It's not important where this is happening. And I'm sure this has happened to you before too. It's because this has happened to many people of us. It doesn't mean though to shut up. It doesn't mean to suppress it. It actually means to roar even bigger. And I really, really mean to bring this into life, because else it's going to be stuck where it shouldn't be stuck, you know. If you want to create the life that is truly in your favor, you cannot hold on to something like this. You cannot keep it here in your pelvic area. If you are doing that, you're always creating from something that is painful, and you are not really getting past that state. You're creating this over and over again. You will be reminded over and over again. It's because, you know, who you are is actually visible in the outside, and this is also what you're attracting. And so I always felt, when I was very miserable, I felt this is so mean. I felt this mean if I have already gone through so much and I'm still getting the crap. How come? Like, this is unfair, right? This is so unfair. I feel you. But this is how universe actually works, is that, you know, when you are really putting your intention into something, then all of a sudden it comes along. It's because you're vibrating on that kind of frequency. And if you start to play on that level, and this is not about I dream what I want and then it's coming up in my life. I'm not really talking about huge manifesting and all of that kind of thing. I'm really talking about getting to know who you are and letting those emotions getting transferred through your body, speaking up your truth, getting it out, right? Even if this means to the mirror, even if this means, hey, I'm actually journaling and then I'm reading it for myself. It doesn't mean that speaking your truth means I'm going for a public speaking. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean you have to go that way. It just means that speaking up your truth and going into that area is helping you to really bring your actual vision, something that you really want to bring into this life, to fruition. Because the more you're cleansing, the more you're cleaning up baggage, right? It's the same with your home. Imagine at your home you have so much garbage and you're never cleaning anything. And then at one point you're cleaning out all the garbage that you have there, or everything that you don't need, and you put it away to the station, to the center for the recycling, right? Have you ever felt that? That's like a whole new life. That's like a whole new a whole new era can begin, right? And it's exactly the same story. You know, if you really want to look into what is painful for you, and I really aim to look deep into the pain areas, because that is where all your potential lies. You see, the pain is your biggest potential, because oftentimes it's hidden. Oftentimes you're growing out of something, but the growth comes from this pain point. It's in the hidden parts that we don't want to look, where we need something to grow up. We need something to expand. We need something from there so that we can actually grow into areas we have never thought we could. And that is so crucial. So if you are in a situation where people have hurt you, they were not nice to you, you were not nice to yourself, you know, you didn't give yourself the freedom, the peace. You didn't allow yourself to speak up, to really, really go into the conflict. Maybe that is about, hey, I'm speaking my truth, and now this person speaks her truth or his truth, and we are getting together. You see, it's not really about receiving the best solution or whatsoever. It's about, hey, I'm not shutting up just because you want me to be quiet. I'm speaking up my truth with the most kindest words I can, yet I'm not going to shut up. I'm going to speak it regardless of the outcome. I'm detached myself from the outcome because it's not even important. My aim is to really speak my truth the best way I can with the most kindest possibility I have. Okay? And so the more we are doing that, the more we are bringing this up, right? The more it can go. You know, I used to really, really not speak up for myself. I used to be very, very quiet because I have learned that my words are not important. I learned that things that I have to say is not important and whatsoever. And at one point I was like, you know what? If everyone else can actually speak up, I should maybe try to do the same, because it seems freeing. It seems worth to speak up. It seems worth to try. It seems worth to do something new. I did. And you see, people start to recognize you and they start to see, oh, actually, that's her boundary. I'm not going to cross the boundary anymore because then she's going to tell me off. I'm communicating my boundaries quite clear. I'm saying what I like and what I don't like, and sometimes we are disagreeing, and then we are finding an agreement, and sometimes it works very, very well, and sometimes it doesn't. But you know, if you're not trying, at least you're not getting anywhere, right? And the more you're trying to speak up your truth, to say those things that you are usually not saying because you're ashamed, because you feel like, oh, I cannot share that, that's so embarrassing, that's so, then I would actually recognize them, or I would tell them that I'm actually hurt, you know? I'm hurt, you hurt me, right? People are so afraid to say, hey, listen, you really hurt me with that. But I tell you something, it's the biggest secret ever. If you are looking at someone's eyes and you're telling them because you want to be honest for yourself, you're detaching yourself from the outcome, you're just real, you are acting with a pure heart, and you're looking them in the eyes and you're telling them, listen, what you have just said did hurt me so much. I want you to never do this ever again. Watch how they change. This is feminine power, I tell you. They will never do this again. And this is not about everyone will never do this again, right? But this is about people who appreciate you, people who value you. They will never do this ever to you again. But you have to communicate, you have to somehow get them into your perspective. And in addition, and this is great, you see who is not for you. And you see, if you have a possibility to speak up your truth, to train a bit, go and do that. Train yourself. Fall, train, fall, and train. But be sure to really bring the message across when you're hurt. And you don't have to say it exactly like me. Find your own words, right? But share your truth. Share what is important for you, because that is how you grow. See, you will never find the life you really desire if you are not putting yourself out there, if you are not sharing your truth. And this is how to start, right? All right, guys. There is one more thing I want to share. I got a self-discovery course right now on discount. Now I got it. And this discount is actually leaving in about 48 hours. It's a course that will allow you to really go deep. It's $47. You learn how to go into a meditative state. You will learn what is the inner child. You will learn how to reflect. You will learn more about yourself. It's a course that has been impacting quite a few people. And I want to offer this to you to understand, oh, I can actually work on myself and I don't need to share my whole story with everyone. No, you don't. What you really need is the reflection for yourself, the discovery for yourself, right? This is how to start, because the more you learn about yourself, you can actually go outside and get some help over there, but you need to understand first a little bit about yourself, on what is good for you, what isn't, because no one else will really know what is good for you and what isn't. It's a try and error. But if you already discovered that, if you already know, if you have been in situations that are good for you, that are not so good for you, where you grew, You know, you can actually push yourself a little bit more into the direction that works for you really well. And so it's important that you are going and doing the self discovery first before you're putting everything out, before you're starting everywhere else and sharing all your story, but not knowing where you stand here. Huh? This is very, 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 very important, I would say. All right. I wish you a wonderful evening, a wonderful day, whatever it is. And we speak very soon. Bye bye.